so long. Do you still have my number saved? It's Amanda. Do you remember from like 8 years ago?
Oh, whoa, Amanda, wow. Yeah, a long time no see. I hope you've been well.
I really have. In fact, I'm gonna be getting married.
No kidding. Wow, well, congrats to you for that. That's just amazing.
Thank you. I know, I am so excited. But you don't seem as excited as me. What's up? Are you feeling okay? You should be pumped. I mean, we have been friends since we were really little, and now I'm telling you that I'm getting married.
Yeah, of course. I think it's exciting. It's a really, really big deal, I'm sure.
That's right. Well, I'm just glad you found a little more enthusiasm for me.
Right, of course. Well, was there anything else you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, duh! Of course there is. Why would I message you in the first place? I want you to tell me where you live.
Sorry, you want my address? May I ask why?
To send you an invitation to the wedding. Duh!
Oh, right.
You guys moved out to the suburbs near the city for your husband's job, right? Are you guys still living around there? I can just send it straight there.
Oh, no. I think it would be better if you just sent the invitation to my parents' house. I'm sure they'd love to hear about the good news, too.
But why should I do that? Won't they just end up giving it to you anyways?
Right, but, well, you know, we moved here because of his job, but we have no idea when we'll have to move again. It's rather temporary. So it would just be better to send to an address that's going to be guaranteed for a longer time. Even if it takes a while to make its way to us, it would be better to send it to my parents. You can address it to me, and I'll tell my parents to be on the lookout for something with my name on it.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Okay then, I guess I'll send it to your parents. Unless they've moved since we last talked too.
No, their address should still be the same as far as I know. Hey, Amanda, are you there? Do you have a chance to talk real quick?
Hey there, Jenny. I take it that my wedding invitation arrived in the mail for you. Can't wait to see you on the big day.
Right, but is this date really correct? For the wedding day, I mean. Like, it wasn't a misprint or anything? You're for sure gonna have your wedding then.
Yeah, of course. We took a really long time coming up with that date, but it was perfect for us. Why do you ask?
Well, your wedding is gonna be this weekend.
Right? Yes, and?
It's just that, well, you're not giving us a lot of time to prepare as guests, you know?
What do you mean? I'm not following. So you're telling me that you won't be able to make it to my wedding then? Even though we've known each other ever since we were little girls? Is that really what you're saying right now?
The thing is that I actually live pretty far away right now. I was just wondering, were you planning on covering travel costs or anything like that?
I see what this is. You're just being your old cheap self again, huh? If you were really my friend and you really wanted to help me celebrate my special date, then you'd suck it up and shell out the money to come over here by yourself. Can't believe I have to explain all of this to you.
No, that isn't what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that going to weddings takes preparation from the guests too. We need time to find the proper clothing, the right gift, those kinds of things.
Yes, I know about all of that. What is your point?
Well, so my point is that there isn't enough time for when we're invited to your wedding and when it's going to happen. I mean, other weddings I've been had their invitations sent out at least 3 months in advance of the actual event.
You know, Jenny, you're really lucky we have so much history. If you were someone else, I might not be willing to overlook all the nitpicking, but for you, I will. So just do whatever preparations you need to do and then come here for my wedding, okay?
I'm just trying to tell you that it isn't that simple.
But all the other girls from our group are going to be coming with their husbands and families. You can't be the only one not there.
You invited all the other girls from when we used to go to school together.
Yes, I made sure to send invitations to all of them. But the only one making this big of a fuss about things is you.
Oh, I see.
But you have to be there. It'll be like a big class reunion with everyone showing up.
Right. I'll remember that.
Okay then, I'm gonna make sure that you and your husband have a seat saved on the big day.
Hey, Michaela, do you have a second to talk? I just wanted to ask if you know anything about Amanda's wedding.
Whoa, Jenny! How long has it been? It's so great to hear from you. Actually, I was just thinking of messaging you about the wedding as well. Is it really true that you screamed in joy over the phone when you heard about Amanda getting married and said that you'd be at her wedding if it was the last thing you did on Earth?
Whoa, what? Who told you that? No, I never did anything like that. Not even anything remotely close. Actually, I was messaging you because I heard that you were going to be bringing your whole family to the wedding. Is that true?
What? No way. I could never swing that even if I wanted to. I mean, the wedding is only 2 days away. She gave me almost no heads up to plan for any of this. Honestly, I don't know what she was thinking.
I know, this all feels so thrown together. I'm just really confused.
Oh, wait a second. Wow, would you look at that weather report? It's not looking good at all on Amanda's special day.
You're kidding. How bad is it looking?
Well, according to the TV, it looks like a blizzard. Her venue is over in Gold Valley, but it seems like the whole area is going to be buried. Hell, even Springmont is looking to get a few feet.
Whoa, are you serious? Buried. Exactly how bad are we talking here?
The weatherman is saying something like 6 feet of snow. Apparently it's going to set some records for some of the counties. I know Gold Valley gets a lot of snow already, so they should be more prepared, but I guess all signs are pointing to it being totally unmanageable.
And she really wants to hold her flash wedding then, despite the weather being that awful. How is that supposed to work?
I can't imagine that it really will, to be honest.
Jenny, are you there? You are on your way to my wedding, right?
Are you really sure about going through with the wedding with the weather as bad as it is? I mean, I'm at my parents' now, but half the city's shut down because of all the ice on the roads in town. Not to mention, I heard they're supposed to be up to 6 feet in Gold Valley.
What are you talking about? Are you making excuses again? I won't let you just get out of coming to my wedding because of a little snow, you got it? Besides, we knew the weather was going to be like this when we were planning the wedding. We made the wedding today because the weather says it's supposed to get much, much worse tomorrow, you see? So it actually isn't that bad. You just need to quit finding things to complain about.
I thought you just put it on the weekend so that people would be able to take work off and attend.
That just goes to show that you shouldn't open your mouth about things you don't know about.
Well, I'm sure you got many other people besides me complaining about how late the invitations came out, right?
I thought I told you to stop complaining about every single little thing. The invitations were fine. The weather is fine. The snow is nothing. 6 feet is barely anything. And if you were really my friend, you'd still come in spite of it.
Well, that's easier said than done. Either way, we've already left my parents' house. Are you sure it's okay to drive up there?
If all you're going to do is keep complaining and nitpicking, then I'm going to stop answering you until I see you here in person.
Morning, Jenny. Are you awake yet?
Oh, hey, Michaela. Yeah, I'm up, trying to figure out what to do.
Are you already in your car on your way?
That we are, yeah. My husband is driving with beads of sweat running down his face despite the blizzard. I seriously doubt that we're going to be able to make it to the venue on time, but I know that if we don't try at least, Amanda's probably going to find out about it, and that's just going to be another problem in the future.
Yeah, I remember in high school she was named most selfish in the fake yearbook categories we had. Can't imagine what it must have been like growing up with her when you were both even younger. But my mom is really good friends with her mom, so we also don't really have a good way to get out of this thing either.
Well, at least we can see each other there, right?
Yeah, that's if we both make it there in one piece. By the way, did you hear about why she sent out the invitation so late?
No, I have no idea. What was the reason?
Well, apparently the first round of invitations she sent out were to friends she'd made since graduating college, but I heard about 90% of them said they weren't going to go.
Whoa, 90%? Are you serious?
Yeah, Amanda and I went to the same college, so I heard from a mutual friend.
So then all these last-minute invitations to the old friends like you and I are just a way to fill up all the empty seats of who she really wanted to invite.
I guess her personality really caught up to her as an adult.
Whoa, yeah, I can't imagine how she must have reacted to that. Well, now I really am glad that you and I are going to be there at the same time.
Yeah, I can't imagine going there alone. The awkwardness alone would be just too much. Although I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it up there in this weather either.
Well, we just passed by a car that slid off the road, so the real test begins now, I suppose.
Good luck getting there. Drive safely.
Jenny, you are coming to the wedding still, right? Like, are you already well on your way? Yes? Because Michaela's already here. You better get here fast. I saved you a really good seat up front, but I know that a lot of the other girls here are eyeing it since it's still empty.
Right. I'm assuming you just sent a very similar text to Michaela right now, yeah? Actually, I'm on my way to pick her up because her car is stuck in a snowbank right outside Gold Valley.
Wait, what happened?
Did you know that Michaela and I used to be really close in high school? And what is this plan of yours anyways? Were you trying to tell us stories about the other girls coming in order to try and make us more excited to go to your wedding? Was that your strategy?
So, you mean you two still hang out?
Well, no, we don't live anywhere near each other anymore, but we keep in touch.
You mean you guys are that close?
We are. Anyways, we're gonna make a quick stop. I'll talk to you later.
A quick stop? Where? To do what? You better come to my wedding. Snow or no snow, I want to see you there. Do you hear me?
Amanda, I just want you to know that I picked up Michaela.
Well, what is taking so long? Don't tell me that your car is stuck now, too. At this rate, you two are barely gonna make it on time. Quit fooling around and get over here. Unless you really are trying to get out of going to your old friend's wedding like some kind of fleek.
Well, wouldn't you believe it? Our car actually did get stuck not long after I picked up Michaela.
Wait, are you serious?
And it doesn't really seem like AAA is going to be able to dig my car out of that ditch anytime soon.
No, this can't be happening.
So I'm really sorry to say, but I don't think either of us are going to be able to make it to your wedding. I mean, we could try walking up there, but that would just take hours and we'd never make it on time.
I can't believe this. Ugh, I'm so mad right now. What the hell?
Are there other people who weren't able to make it today as well?
So many. It is just crazy. My fiance and I just wanted to have a magic and romantic wedding in the fresh snow. We chose this season on purpose. But now everyone is calling in saying that they don't want to drive in the snow or talking about how there's a weather advisory. Now my whole wedding is just falling apart around me. It isn't fair. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, to be honest, I was a little afraid that something like this would happen.
But you said that you and Michaela are already in town, right? So at least the two of you have just got to come.
Well, neither of us have working cars right now, so I don't see how that is an option for either of us. But if you want, you can give us your address and we can make sure to send our presents there for you. Otherwise, I can't see how we're going to get up there.
How did this happen? Jenny, I want $20,000 as a wedding present. Thank you.
Excuse me, you want how much?
Consider it a fee you have to pay for missing my wedding.
There is no way that I'm giving you that kind of money. Besides, I heard that you two ended up breaking off the engagement without getting married, so why would I send you money for a wedding that didn't happen? Everyone must have been asking you to change the date or make some kind of accommodations for the snow, but you just insisted on holding your wedding nonetheless. And then, because of your selfishness and high-handedness, not only was your wedding ruined, but it seems you drove away even your fiancé. And now you're not even getting married. Do I have that right?
But how did you hear about all of that?
Because Michaela's mom is friends with your mom, and so Michaela heard all the gory details. She passed them along to me, naturally.
That skink!
Not to mention your parents called me to apologize for everything.
Wait, what? They apologized for what?
For the way that you were behaving leading up to the wedding. They also told me that I should probably stay away from you in the future because you're bad news.
They said what?
I told them that I would take their advice.
Wait, but then I thought we were friends.
We may have known each other for a long, long time, but that doesn't make us friends, okay?
How can you say that?
Anyways, I have better things to be doing. Goodbye. Amanda was crazy for trying to demand $20,000 from me after I knew her wedding had been canceled. But I imagine that Amanda had her own share of the canceled wedding to pay and was just looking for money to help with that. And thanks to the nasty weather, Amanda now had some serious debt to pay off. In fact, I even heard there were some people who'd sent her money before the wedding and were now asking for it back since there was no wedding. I wonder how many other people she went around trying to demand money from. Anyways, after a talk, I told her parents about what she was going around doing. Well, as you can imagine, they were just furious and told her that until she changed her ways, she could forget about any kind of support from either of them. After that, I heard that Amanda kind of snapped and went to go live in some commune deep in the mountains. I hear that she doesn't even have a phone or a TV and just spends her days farming and thinking. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
You know your ex-husband that I stole from you? Guess what? He got a promotion!
Yeah, I heard about that. He became a professor in a university hospital 2 years ago, didn't he?
Oh, so you already knew. I thought you should have been more surprised by this information.
Ah, I see.
Well, it's been a while that we haven't spoken on WhatsApp, and you're acting so cold towards me. Are you still holding a grudge about something that happened 5 years ago? It was ages ago now.
I'm busy, that's all. Can you just leave it?
What are you busy with? Just handing out medicine to people is such an easy job. You're too incompetent to even keep that job.
Being a pharmacist is a nationally recognized qualification, you realize. And it's not easy work at all.
Even I could do something as easy as that.
But whose fault do you think it is that I quit this job?
Well, I just told Johnny you were having an affair. And everyone believed it at the hospital. I guess everyone at the hospital was gossiping about it all the time.
It seemed he was talking to people so that he could get some sympathy and pity. And because of this, people were giving me dirty looks all the time at work. I had no choice but to end up quitting in the end. It was terrible.
Oh my, poor you. I offer you my deepest condolences.
But I never had an affair in the first place. You know that. Why did you tell that lie to Johnny?
Well, it's true that you were messing around with a guy, no? And there is even photo evidence of this knocking about.
But what you showed Johnny was a photo from when I was a student.
Well, when you were wandering about the city, you did do some sneaky things. You'd sometimes walk around with this middle-aged man, so I rushed to snap a picture of you both together.
But the guy I was with was just a customer. All we were doing was getting food out together. That's it.
What were you doing? Working as some sort of female entertainer or some sort of escort?
Yes, just to make money to pay for my college fees. Dad said he was not going to give me even 1 cent, so I had no other choice but to work.
You were a stripper, weren't you? I also worked in one of those types of bars for a while. But there were never women as ugly as you working in those places.
Hey, just quit it. Stop making things up. I can't believe you are not even apologizing to me for everything you've done. You really are the worst.
Yeah, but if it's not the truth as you say, then it shouldn't be a problem, right? You should have just explained yourself to Johnny, no? Why didn't you do that?
I had never told Johnny that I worked in those types of bars when I was a student. And so he said that he couldn't believe me because I had explained this to him afterwards and not before.
There really is zero trust between you two. But it's a divorce on the grounds of adultery, isn't it? I guess it's a good thing that he didn't sue you. Johnny's a really nice guy, isn't he? You're actually pretty lucky.
A nice guy. He totally screwed me over out of spite and I didn't get any of the assets.
Gosh, he threw you out with not even 1 cent to your name? That is pretty miserable.
Both Johnny and my work colleagues wouldn't believe what I was saying at all. And Dad also took your side with this matter, as expected. So at that time, I didn't have the energy to argue about money. I was already exhausted by everything else that was happening.
Wow, you're ugly and no one believed you. What a sad situation. But I'm beautiful, so I was able to get married to Johnny. I'm happy that I ended up with him. It's destiny, isn't it? You really are a winner when you've got a winning face like mine.
Okay, just leave it, would you? It's getting really tiresome speaking to you. You just bring up the past and I've had enough. I can't deal with you anymore.
Hey there, just wait a minute, won't you? I didn't contact you just so we could have a chat about the past. I have an important matter to talk to you about today. So that's why I've gone out of my way to get back in touch with you.
Okay. Tell me then. What is it?
Have you heard that Dad's health is deteriorating? It's not great. He's in a bad way.
Since everything that went on 5 years ago, we have been estranged. We haven't spoken at all. So I haven't heard anything at all.
It seems like he has some sort of brain disease. He now requires care.
Oh, right, I see. I didn't know this.
So yeah, please do the nursing.
What?
As a doctor's wife, I am a busy woman and I have lots of work to do. I can't be a nurse as well. It's too much stress for me to handle.
Hey, you're a housewife. You don't have any work to do. Stop making stuff up. And you were the one who was spoiled rotten by Dad. He loved you more than he loved me. So why don't you give that love back to him now? It's time for you to do something in return.
Yes, Mom is saying that too, and now I don't know what to do. He's been good to you, so the least you can do is help him out now. Blah, blah, blah. I'm being asked to do ridiculous things. I don't like it.
Why are you being like this? If you don't want to do it yourself, you can just ask Johnny, right? Can't you hire a professional carer yourselves or something?
Well, it's a shame if you can't use your parents' money, right? You might as well.
Oh, wow. You really are a heartless human being. I can't believe this.
Well, aren't you as well?
When I was a kid, I was constantly compared to you. People always compared my looks to yours. Even my parents told me they didn't want to spend money on an ugly kid like me. I don't want to care for people who treated me like that. It's too much.
Huh?
You were the one who was doted on all the time. And you didn't have to pay for your college fees. They gave you the money for it. And even when it came to living your everyday life, they also paid for that, didn't they? Up until the moment that you married Johnny, you were receiving money from them the whole time, weren't you?
But that's something that they decided to do. It's not my fault that they wanted to give me money. And now, wouldn't it be a bit ridiculous for me to return the favor?
Yeah. So can you stop trying to make me do things that you don't want to do? I'm also busy with work. I don't have time to be a carer.
Huh? You're working?
Do you really think I haven't been employed for 5 years? Did you think I was unemployed all this time?
Well, you're so incompetent. So, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I thought that you were definitely homeless or something.
Well, that's not true. At all.
It doesn't seem like an important job anyway. Even though you went to university. You just ended up doing an easy job giving out medicines to people.
I've told you loads of times, it's not a simple job. If you don't have sufficient knowledge, you can't do it. It requires training and skills. Don't be such an arrogant show-off. So, anyway, how about caring for Dad? You're gonna do it, right? I'll leave it up to you. Thanks.
I told you there is no way. Aren't you listening to me at all? My name is Katie. I'm a 34-year-old divorcee. My sister Vicky, who is 4 years older, always got more love and affection than me from my parents. She was their favorite. I think that's why she grew up to be a selfish person. And for a long time, she has looked down on me and was generally rude and mean to me. I hated having a family like that. So I decided that I had to become independent from them. There was no other option. When I was a student, I studied morning and evening, as much as I could. And I obtained my qualification to become a pharmacist. I was so happy. After graduating, I found a job at the university hospital. This is where I met my ex-husband, Johnny, who was a doctor. We got married. But introducing him to my parents and my sister was a complete mistake. My sister was interested in Johnny, and all she wanted to do was break us up. So she fooled Johnny with a bunch of lies. In the end, we had to get divorced. My sister unashamedly got married to Johnny instead. After that, I fell into a depressive pit of endless unhappiness. It was terrible. So 5 years have passed, and I felt a bit better. Work is going well, and I have basically forgotten everything that happened with my sister. I have to admit, though, that I was a bit worried about my dad. I guess I love him after all. But after they treated me like this, I still don't feel like forgiving my family. So I refuse to care for my dad. However, my older sister, who refuses to listen, was acting in a completely outrageous manner. And she seemed determined to want to ruin my peace yet again.
Wow, you're working at a popular cosmetics company? Who would have thought it? Anyway, it's probably a very unimportant job. I can't imagine that you are doing any useful work there.
Huh? How did you know I was working there? I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you.
Well, I asked you to care for Dad, but it doesn't seem like you are ever at home.
Yes, which is why I refuse to care for him. I don't have time and I'm working.
So I had to ask a detective agency to check on you and find out where you worked. And Mom keeps pestering me with annoying messages. I can't deal with them anymore. If you don't come home quickly, it's gonna be really difficult. You better come home now.
Well, why don't you do something for once instead of asking someone else to do it for you? Mom is asking you to help out, right? Just do it.
I don't want to. No way.
No matter what you say, I'm not going to be his carer.
Well, shall I just do what I did last time and spread a nasty rumor and make you unemployed again?
Huh?
The reason why you cheated is because you can't help yourself. You're just obsessed with men. I'll say that. When people from work find this out, it's gonna be really difficult for you not to quit, isn't it?
So is that why you wanted to find out where I worked? I can't believe it. You really are a heartless woman.
Well, if you don't want to lose your job again, you better listen to what I am saying. So anyway, please make sure you do what I say. Otherwise, you know what's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm home.
Ah, you finally accepted then. Great, thanks for doing the caring.
I'm not going to be doing that. I told you.
Huh? As if.
I've come here to talk to Mom about it. That's why I'm here. That's all I came back here to do.
Are you messing around with me? If you don't do the care work, you know what I'm gonna do. I'll tell all your colleagues at work about your cheating. I've already spoken to my colleagues about your antics and about what sort of person you are. They know what to expect.
That is not going to be an issue. It's fine, don't worry.
Hey, but I have that photo of you, remember? It's from when you were working in that strip club. So even though you spoke to your colleagues about the situation, they won't believe you after seeing this photo.
People from my company know that I used to do that sort of work.
I was bartending there, so what? It's not something I've hidden from them. That's not going to be an issue.
Oh, come on! We had reached an agreement before, so don't get carried away by this. I am definitely going to make sure that you do the caring. You'll see.
I'm moving abroad, so I won't be able to do the care work anyway. I'm out of here.
Huh?
Well, because of something related to work, it's been decided that I'm going abroad. Exciting, isn't it?
I bet you are lying.
No, it's true. But why do I care if you don't believe what I'm saying? In all honesty, I have a better life than you anyway.
You are always so vain and pretentious. Guess what Johnny's salary is? He earns more than $70,000 in a year. I won't believe that you earn more than that amount. There is no way.
Huh, that's lower than my monthly wage.
Huh? What do you mean? That's obviously a joke.
Well, I'm the CEO of my company, and actually, the yearly turnover is over $7 million.
Are you serious?
If you used a detective agency to spy on me, how could you not even find that out?
Well, I guess I didn't check properly. And it costs a lot of money to do a full comprehensive search. So I went with just a basic check.
So you didn't even know that I was the CEO of this company.
But how did you get to be the CEO of such a popular cosmetics brand? I don't understand how you manage that. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well, I made the most of my background in pharmacy. And then I set up a brand of makeup that was easy on people's skin. There was a huge buzz around it. I got a lot of attention.
Are you serious?
Yes, even people prone to allergies can use it without worrying. That's why it's so popular. The company garnered attention in the world of healthcare, and people from all around the world are big fans now and use this makeup regularly.
But how on earth did you start this business? After your divorce, you were thrown out without a cent to your name. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, I relinquished my assets, but I have my own savings. So that's what I did. And I had some acquaintances who were happy to invest in my idea. And talks continued smoothly until I started the business.
You have those sorts of acquaintances?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, it's the guy you took that photo of with me.
With that old man?
Yes, when I was working in those bars, he happened to be one of my regular clients. He approved of what I wanted to do and decided to take the leap and invest in me.
How can you get to be good friends with a rich man like that? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, well, that's because I was working in the most popular bar in Manhattan.
What a lie! An ugly girl like you?
It's well known that in these types of bars, the prettiest girls always make the best tips. Well, that's what people tend to think. But if you are cultivated, refined, and have good conversation skills, you can also do well. It doesn't matter if you are not the most beautiful girl in the room. You can still make a lot of money.
I don't understand this.
Well, you don't have a bad face. You're not bad looking at all. But you don't really know how to serve customers well. You were just working in a seedy lowbrow place, weren't you?
Huh? How did you know that?
Oh, you know how it goes. You hear things and gossip circulates. Apparently you never remember customers' faces and only talked about yourself. I'm not surprised. I heard clients used to call your stage the bathroom break. Oh, and the owner told me she's never had a girl get 0 lap dance requests since she opened the place.
Okay, well, we don't need to talk about it.
So you ended up not catching any patron to marry even into your 30s. That's why you changed your strategy, right? So you decided to snatch Johnny away from me and get married to him, a man of wealth and high social standing. That was your plan all along, wasn't it?
Well, Dad was close to retirement age at that time. So I thought I should get married as soon as possible. And Johnny had a good salary and was a doctor.
I'm disgusted with you. You really are a piece of work. But you know, in those days when you were working in the clubs, you were so vain and could not stop wearing expensive clothes all the time. You were always buying luxury jewelry as well. You got into debt buying all these beautiful things, didn't you?
Huh? How do you know about the debt as well? I can't believe this.
I heard from Mom. You also put the debt in Dad's name, didn't you? Apparently, you borrowed over $7,000 or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. But since being in debt, time has passed. 5 years has passed, to be exact. And before long, Dad repaid the debt. Did you know that? So it's all okay.
Huh? You didn't even pay back $1?
What?
You told Dad that you would pay it all back if you married someone rich, right? So you asked him to lend you money to cover the debt, right?
I remember that. So didn't Dad advance the money and pay it back?
But after getting into debt, you got married straight away to Johnny, didn't you? So in the end, Dad thought that it would be you who would pay back the money, since you got married to Johnny. But it doesn't seem like the money was repaid at all.
I did not hear that. That cannot be true. And anyway, if they want their money back, wouldn't there have been letters from the debt company demanding the money? I think they did come, but since I told Dad that you were the guarantor, they would come after you.
He thought that you would receive a similar letter about the debt. So he just ignored those letters.
Huh?
And today I checked our family affairs, the posts and all that stuff. And it looks like there is some correspondence from court.
Does that mean I'm going to get tried in court?
Well, you ignored the debt for a really long time. You are in a bad situation. That's usually what happens. You get summoned by court.
Please forgive me.
You and Dad. Well, this whole family. You are all pretty stupid, aren't you? I'm embarrassed that we are related and share the same genes.
Paying back $300K. It really is too much.
Well, if you include interest, it's about double that amount, isn't it?
Is it that much? You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe this.
Well, if you don't do anything and leave the debt to increase like that for 5 years, that's how much it ends up being. What goes around comes around. It's karma, isn't it?
Hey, you better help us out. We are family. That's what family is for.
Even though you are my family, it doesn't mean much, really. From a legal standpoint, there is no issue. I have no legal obligation to help out with the debt. It's not my responsibility. So I'm not going to help you guys out.
Well, I will ignore the debt as well then. It's all in Dad's name anyway. Nothing to do with me. Hey, but you are the guarantor, aren't you? So you have no choice.
If you ignore the debt, you'll be the one who ends up having to take it over as the guarantor. So I wouldn't advise that.
Oh, I get it, okay. Well, I'm gonna ask Johnny for help. He'll help us out some way. I'm sure he'll work out a way. His yearly salary is $500,000.
I wonder if his yearly salary can deal with that this time.
Huh? What are you trying to say? What do you mean?
Oh, well, I just happened to hear something. Apparently, Johnny messed up at work. He made a big mistake, and it seems like he is gonna get sued.
You must be kidding me. What? So does this mean he's gonna get arrested?
Probably not to that point. But his patient is still suffering symptoms of his medical error. I think there will be some sort of financial penalty, and he will also be banned from practicing in the medical system.
So you're saying that he is not going to be a doctor anymore? Is that what you mean? You can't be serious.
Yes, it seems like it will end up like that for Johnny.
I can't believe this. Why now? This is the worst possible time for something like this to happen to us.
I guess Johnny's medical expertise is not quite there. He is not as skilled as you might think.
Why did you get married to a guy like him? I don't understand.
Well, he was a sociable and friendly guy, and popular as well. People liked him. And I like him too. I was attracted by that, which is why I wanted to get married to him. I didn't imagine that we would end up breaking up. I never imagined it would turn out like this.
Yes, it's true. He is a nice guy, popular, and always makes good conversation.
Well, that's the thing. Because he is such a friendly and sociable guy, he gets away with more. When those rumors spread about me, everyone ended up supporting Johnny. It was a really difficult period for me. No one seemed to want to believe my side of the story.
Yeah, but until this point, he hasn't messed up at work, has he?
He was promoted 2 years ago, right? He has been a successful doctor for a while now. So making a mistake now, it's just a complete accident, isn't it? Well, he was so liked by the people around him that his mistakes were getting covered up by his colleagues. However, up until this point, they weren't huge mistakes, so it wasn't as serious. Well, it would be good if people could help him this time again. No? Why can't they help him now? Well, when you become a professor, less and less people cover your mistakes for you. When I heard about Johnny's promotion, I thought to myself that he would eventually do something stupid and mess up somehow. But if a doctor is promoted, isn't being skilled at the profession one of the most important things? Well, skill is important, yes. But as is getting on well with colleagues, and also having a little bit of luck, to be honest. Johnny just had good timing, which is why he was promoted. Huh? But I'm glad we got divorced before anything serious happened. To be honest, I need to thank you for that. You kind of saved me. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for everything until now. I feel so terrible about everything. Please forgive me. So come on. Please help me out. We are in a mess. After all this, you suddenly change your attitude? How surprising. I don't have anyone else to rely on. Please, can you help me? My parents-in-law don't like me either. Huh? Why don't they like you? They seemed concerned about you. It seemed like they couldn't forgive me for us getting married after Johnny's divorce. It was all too much for them to handle. Oh, really? And I thought that no one really cared about me at the time. It seems that my father-in-law seemed to believe in me at least. I feel a bit better knowing that. That's so unhelpful right now. I can't pay the rent. Please, can you do something? We're gonna have to leave everything. I'll listen to anything you have to say. Just please help me out. I already told you I'm sorry. Well, wouldn't it make sense if you lived at our parents' house? Our parents already own their house, so you won't have any rent to pay, right? That's my advice. But I'm gonna have to do the caring. I don't want to do that. It's gonna be awful. Hey, you're a housewife, so you have plenty of free time, right? I'm sure you can do it. Come on, stop acting like a child. Oh, please, Katie, I'm begging you. Can't you just give me even a little bit of money to help me out? It would mean so much. No way. Anyway, I'm busy now. I've got things to do. I've got to go now. Bye. Johnny ended up receiving a ban from practicing medicine, and he was also fined. And as for the debt that Vicky built up, it was repaid in the end. But there were nearly no savings left between the two of them. Everyday life became harder for them. So the two of them went to live at our parents' house. And even though Vicky and my mom were both living there as long-term housewives, they didn't want to do the caring or do any work at all. Instead, they continued to be rude to each other, continuously trading selfish jibes. Johnny managed to find a job somewhere, so he started working. But his income was less than half of what he had been earning when he was a professor. Eventually, my sister also decided to start working a part-time job. But because of her ill-tempered and selfish nature, she did nothing but cause trouble. She was continuously changing jobs. And with no stable income, she spent her days being chased around, being made to care for Dad. Well, and as for me, things got even better. Work is going well abroad, and I am living happily. It was a tough path to get here. And as for my sister and my parents and my ex-husband, they got what they deserved, didn't they? I am so relieved. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.